Hi everybody, my name is Guylaine Beauchemin, and today I wanted to share with you my story, what made me as who I am. Starting at 4-year-old, my life was very, very nice, and my dream was to be a stewardess. To see all the world, to fly around the world and see what happened everywhere, see the culture everywhere. And it was something I dreamed for. The 4 to 10 years old, it was an okay childhood. It was okay, but starting at 10, I've been abused by my brother, and I didn't know what was going on at that time, because at 10 I was playing with dolls and little cars, so I was very, I was a baby. I was still a baby at 10 years old. So he abused me, and my life started to be complicated at that moment. Because starting at 12, my uncle decided to abuse me. And my parent didn't do anything about it. I think it was the hardest things to for me, because it didn't protect me about that. So at 14, and my brother, my Simba, starting to do the same thing with me. But at that time, I was able to defend myself and say no. So he stopped it. But at this time, I didn't know that that he abused me when I was 10, because your body is a kind of memory that can subtract this memory of you that you have in yourself, because your body wants to protect you. So at 14, I didn't remember that my brother abused me at 10. So at 16 years old, I was a nanny in Toronto, and I went out a night to see a new friend that I made during the day. And for me, I didn't have any I didn't expect anything from him, just to be friend, that's it. And he abused me again. I've been abused by him. I didn't say anything. It's like that. It was like that. My body was something like trash, something like that. So for me, I didn't love me. I didn't like me. So do whatever you want to do with my body and let me go. That was the thing I lived at that moment. So at 16, I've been abused, and after that I went to Montreal at 17 for my education, and I've been abused again with two other person. So that was my life as a teenager. But again, memories still, you know, put it away, so you can live, you can, you know, live a life that you never had. So trying to live a life that you never had. But at 17, something happened, a miracle happened, and I met my husband. And I am with him for 27 years of marriage. And he's been my protector since I was 17. And everything stopped. But it changed, the energy changed. And it changed to something else. I've been working for people, and those people starting to harass me, sexual harassment and verbal harassment, psychological harassment. That was I lived for about, 17 years old to about 29 years old. That's what I lived. And I didn't know anything about it. It was hard, really, really, really hard, harsh on me, but it was my life. I didn't know anything else. At 28, I was fed up of everything. And so I had a burnout. A burnout, it was to stop me, to stop everything I was, everything bad was, at that time. So life had stopped all the thing that was bad for me. So that's why I had a burnout at that time, but I didn't know about it. I just had the burnout and lived with it. But a nurse told me at that time that the burnout, it was something in my past that wasn't resolved. So trying to see what was happening in my past, I didn't know. The only thing I knew, it was I didn't love me. That's the only thing I knew. So 29 to 37, my life was, upside down, like everybody have, couple problems, family problems, things like that. But it wasn't not so bad. But there was a couple of years that was hard on myself and on the family. And at 38 years old, I started to open my mind to the spirituality. And so I went to see a massage therapist, and I think I saw him for about 6 or 8 months. And at my birthday, the day of my birthday, well, he decided to abuse me. So it was really, really hard. Like I told you before, my body, it was a trash for men, so take it and let me go. It was it at that time. So even I say no, it was that. I couldn't compete against those kind of human. So 38 to 40 years old, my life was completely up. Well, it wasn't up, it was down, completely down, because now I had a big secret in my heart regarding this abused things. I didn't tell my husband about it, and because I was afraid that he would do something really bad to that man, and I didn't want him to suffer about it. So I kept this secret for 2 years, and almost 3 years. And at the end of 2010, I was 40 years old, and we had a big discussion with my daughter, and my daughter had his little boy at that time, and she was upset about something that her dad told her, and she decided to to got out of the house and say bad things to him and bad things to me. And she told us that we wouldn't see our grandchild. And at that moment, it was like a knife cutting me in my stomach. It was so bad. So because of this I've been traumatized about that. I got cancer in my stomach. So I've been really, really sick, and I've been I went to a surgery, an urgent surgery, because I was intoxicating me. And so it was a really bad moment, but it was also a good moment. I think it was a better moment in my life. Why? Because at the age of 41, so it was in 2011, something really good happened to me. God, I will remember all my life. Well, I did two chemotherapy after the surgery, because cancer came back. And after the 2 chemotherapy, I couldn't live anymore. I wanted to take my life. It was too hard. I was allergic to all the medication they gave me. And it was really bad. But after that, I have my revelation, in my illumination, and it was, my life changed at that moment. You know why? Because I took a decision at that time. I heard a voice in my head telling me, Guylaine, do you want to live or do you want to die? And I told the voice that I wanted to live. For the first time in my life, I want to live. And at that moment, at that pure moment, I was healed. I was healed on everything. And it was the perfect day of my life. So in your life, you need to take a decision and, engage yourself. So it was my story that I wanted to share with you today. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for to be there with me. See you.